All right, y'all good to go?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rachel, you didn't see my amazing cosplay. I had this on first, but I can't see anything, so it wouldn't have been very effective. It would have been a boring interview.
I love it.
Hey everyone, it's David Stark from Watch Our Past. Today I'm talking to Racheal Cain and Chloë Levine about Somnium, which is premiering at the Chatanooga Film Festival on June 22nd, 2024. I'm going to talk to them right now, and while you're watching, if you can like and subscribe to this channel, that would be fantastic. I'll spend a lot. Thank you. All right. So thanks so much for joining me today. I've got Racheal Cain and Chloë Levine talking about Somnium, which is coming to the Chattanooga Film Festival on June 22nd, 2024. It is a thriller about following your dreams and what you will do to actually accomplish them. It has a great cast, some really fun effects, and a heartfelt story. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm very excited for more people to see it, and I'm really excited to talk to you. So thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us. We're
yeah,
excited.
thank you.
Of course. So,
Big
first
moment.
question, how did you sleep last night? We'll start with Racheal.
Oh, last night, I slept pretty okay actually, which has been surprising. I've been having a hard time sleeping because this is such a big week, and knowing that people are gonna release reviews, I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. But last night, I don't know, maybe my brain just like took a break and not too bad.
Perfect. Chloe, how have you been sleeping?
Pretty pretty well. I do some weird things in my sleep though. Um I sleep talk a lot and I actually, like the New York Times games, I had to delete that from my phone because I would wake up in the morning and they would already be done for the day. Like I would wake up like
Aw,
3 a.m. Yeah, and they would be
what?
done.
Wait,
So I was like,
Terrifying.
okay, I don't remember doing them. Uh
That's so creepy.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
so you're like so smart that you were just doing the New York Times games in your sleep. Just
Basically, yeah,
so
I'm
easy
so
for you. You
smart.
did it in your sleep.
Yeah.
Humble brag. I love it. Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about Somnium. Racheal, first question's for you. Where you wrote this, where did this come from? This feels like it could be a very personal story, something that maybe is inspired by, your life or people that you've known. Where did this idea come from?
Definitely inspired from personal events. So so something that's unique about the movie is that we actually shot it in two parts. So we shot all of the flashbacks in 2018, and then we shot the present day scenes in 2021. So there's a big gap between the two phases of production. And so they almost like functioned as two separate pieces. So the first, all of the flashback scenes were inspired from a breakup that I was going through after college and just kind of continuing with all of those emotions. And that's definitely what inspired that. And then like the story around those flashbacks changed so much in that break between. Chloe, I'm sure you remember, she like worked in a restaurant. It was like so different. Um, and then yeah, so what inspired the sleep clinic actually it came to me like after partaking in some plant medicine. It like came
Some medicinal, yeah,
yeah,
therapy.
it
Yeah.
all like came to me in one moment and it was just like this missing puzzle piece that just clicked into place and I was like, yes, this is it. Um, so it was very random and sudden, but yeah, fortunately they kind of like wove together nicely in the end.
I love that. So, was there something that happened between 2018 and 2021 that caused this big break? Something that affected everyone?
Oh, you mean what caused us not being able to shoot the
Yeah.
LA's? Oh, money.
Money.
Not having the money for sure. The scope of this movie is outrageous for a first time filmmaker. So just like convincing people to invest their money was so challenging. And that's absolutely why we waited so long. I would have gone instantly if I could have, but
Feel like you could have just kept going and made this into like another Boyhood type movie where you just film another chunk of their life every like 3 or 4 years and just see what happened and hope it would
I know.
eventually.
I just had dinner with my cinematographer and I joked with him about like having a second installment. He was like, no, please, please let it be done.
Somnium 2, The Sleepless Nights. Um,
Chloe's story.
and were you always set to direct this film? I assume you were. I assume you wrote and direct this with the idea that this would be your first feature, but I was just curious.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
always
awesome.
wrote it with knowing that I would direct it. So that's probably why it took so long writing it as well. It was like kind of visualizing it the whole time too.
That's awesome. And so, Chloe, you're America's sweetheart, a small town girl that makes it big. You're an inspiration. You've, done so much. What advice would you give to someone who is watching out there right now? If you don't remember, that's a line directly from the movie. I loved that
Oh my
line.
God, that was like an echo for my brain somewhere. Um, wow, yeah, that is a line from the movie. Well, I wish I could remember the next line and then we could kind of recreate it right now.
I think he said something like, is this real or something like that?
That's the moment I'm having. Like, what?
Yeah,
Um,
you're like, what?
I don't
Uh,
yeah.
know how I ended up here.
so I guess how did if you can remember back to 2018, how did you get involved in this film? How did you get involved in this project? And back then, I guess it didn't have the whole second part. So what was it about appealed to you about then?
Well, I think I remember being sent the script, reading it immediately, and I think like a lot of the emotional arcs are very similar to the original script that I read. Maybe Racheal would agree or disagree with that, but
Yeah.
um and like the bones of it were really in place, and I think also like the visual language that Racheal had set up was also very similar to what we shot in both times. So I think like I was just so on board with also Racheal too. Like I remember us Zooming, or we were Skyping because Zoom wasn't a thing because of
Yeah.
the pandemic.
Oh my
And
gosh.
and I remember just being like, this is someone that I want to work with. Like and Racheal just had such a like attuned visual language that, as a filmmaker myself, I was like instantly attracted to that, wanted to work for Racheal. Yeah.
And so were you keeping tabs on, I assume you were like still in touch, but were you keeping tabs on like where the film was going as kind of it was progressing as you were trying to get the money to finish up the film? Did you keep in contact with where the story was going? Did you just like get a part two script? You're like, hey, here it is. You're now in a dream, factory and you're working nights, or how did that kind of communication happen?
I think I think I did get like a part two, right?
Surprise! Pandemic's over. Here you go.
If I'm remembering correctly. It was during the pandemic, so it was all kind of a blur.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was
So
so weird.
I don't
So,
remember a lot from the pandemic. But
no.
That was like 25 years ago, I think, if I remember right.
yeah,
So
25, yeah. Um,
Yeah, and
but
then
yeah,
we did the
really
whole
excited about.
Kickstarter.
Oh, sorry, what?
We did like the whole Kickstarter campaign right after, so that it took like a
Right.
year just getting all of that ironed out. And yeah, I can't even, it's so weird. It's such a blur in
Yeah.
between.
it
Oh,
almost feels like it was a dream, maybe, or maybe a nightmare, I guess, depending on how indie filmmaking goes.
Dream. Mhm.
Um, so I really loved the character of Brooks. He was instantly kind of like drawn to him, and you're always wondering what his motivations are. And he is such like a fun character. Like, was that based on anyone that you had met, Racheal? Like, is there someone that like showed you the ropes when you wanted to like get into filmmaking, or is that just like someone that you hoped would have showed up and like helped get your foot in the door?
that's a cool question. Definitely like an amalgamation of a bunch of people that I met when I first moved out there, all into one character. But I think for me, um, he was kind of who I wanted to be. And like I just like people fascinate me. Their reasons for doing things. Like my producer Maria, I'm just like baffled by her because I'm like, you are the most giving, genuine person. I don't understand like what I know what you're getting from it, but like so that's I think I wrote his character with that in mind of like who I want to be if I have any level of stake in this industry, just like truly there to help. Um, so yeah, I think that was like maybe in my mind, Brooks was always like the future and he symbolized sort of success and reaching the future. And so I think that's maybe what I was playing with when I was writing him.
Yeah, he's kind of like the Hollywood fairy godmother
Yeah,
or fairy
exactly.
goddaddy, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how you would describe that. But no,
Yeah.
I loved him because I was always questioning, like when he first comes in, you're like, what are his motivations? Like what does he get out of this? And like you said, some people just like this, and you would hope that you
Yeah.
would meet someone if you're having trouble, someone would like fall out of the sky to kind of like help guide you
Yeah.
through.
Yeah, that's true. Like the angel. Yeah.
Yeah. or a devil. I guess you have to watch the movie to find out. We'll see. Chloe, what was it like working with Johnathon? He seemed like this a fun like character, a fun person to work with.
Yeah, he's just like a really lovely person. He has so many great stories and like is really just such like a generous and uh just like always down, like one of those actors who's like always ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I guess going back to like your character, Chloe, did you have to do anything to like prepare for Gemma? Or I mean, I don't know, like did you just remember how it was to start out in the industry? I know you've been acting for a long time, so you didn't have, you didn't have this exact arc, but how did you kind of like prepare to play a struggling actor trying to get roles and things like that?
Um, yeah, I've watched Rachel gave me some movies to watch to like really set the tone of the headspace, like, Repulsion, Knight of Cups, um, Black Swan was on there as well. And like I always do for every character, I made a playlist that was like specific to Gemma, and also Rachel had a playlist for the character as well that just like for me I can like sort of embed memories that the character would have so that I can just like have easy access to that emotion based off whatever, song I'm listening to. And that was really important because there was so much time that had passed between, when we were our two blocks of shooting. Um, but besides that, I mean, I think, as an actor, there's so many moments that are really real in the script, like, all of the audition stuff. I mean, there's just so much like just genuine stuff that I didn't need to. It's like, I remember this. I remember this from like 2 days ago too, because you like never stop auditioning, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah.
And was your audition for this movie the audition scene? Because I love that you had audition in this movie. That was a fun scene to
Yeah,
see.
isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Um,
We didn't
no,
have an
actually,
audition. We didn't have
no,
an
actually,
audition.
I didn't audition.
Oh,
I
you
had
just
seen
you just
enough.
No,
walked right
yeah.
into the Skype conversation.
Yes,
Yeah.
pretty
I just
much.
like vibed really well
Yeah,
immediately. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's awesome. I mean that's great. I mean, if you trust each other and you kind of like fit the right mold. Who needs to go out and like do a
She
casting
has
call?
plenty of content out there where it's like clear how talented she is. That was
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah.
And then also that we just like connected. Yeah. Man, I could spend the whole half an hour just talking about her process. I'm so curious because I didn't even like really talk to you about your process throughout, but it's interesting. She's so good.
Yeah, I love hearing that you had a playlist. I wonder if it like does it kind of like in the movies it start, happy and then slowly go downhill for a little bit and they get like experimental towards the end. Like how does that?
Yeah, there's some, I should check it out before we go to the festival, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of weird stuff on there. It'd be nice to revisit that, you know?
I mean,
Definitely.
maybe you already have. Maybe you've done it in your sleep. You just don't remember it. It sounds like you just do
Maybe that's
all
what I'm
sorts of crazy
doing
things.
instead of sleeping. Yeah.
Um, so we kind of touched on this earlier, but Rachel, like, were any of the characters, you said this is kind of based on a breakup, were the characters from the hometown, were those based on like friends or people that you know? And was uh what was his name? The boyfriend, was he based on your actual boyfriend that you broke his heart to go pursue your dreams?
Definitely, yeah. I think especially initially, and then over time, because gosh, I started writing it so long ago in 2011. So it was right off of that fresh breakup, my first big breakup. But then because it had taken so long, it definitely turned into like just morphed into a bunch of different relationships I'd had that hadn't worked out. Um,
Just an
yeah,
amalgamation of experience.
exactly. Yeah, for
And
sure.
I loved seeing Peter in this movie. I was able to interview him for private chat a while ago. He was a lovely person. Did not know what to expect after that movie interviewing him, but he was fantastic. So I was really happy to see him in this movie. And was he? I assume you had to bring him back for some of the later scenes to film it once he kind of knew how it was going to go. So it's
Yeah,
amazing that like he was still available too to come back and like fill
I
in 3 or 4 years
know.
later.
Yeah, we got really lucky. You never know. You never know if they're going to be available. And no, that day on set, that was probably my favorite day. It was so full circle. Oh, I get emotional thinking about it because he's gonna come to the premiere too, so it's gonna be so fun to celebrate. But yeah, definitely a little risky waiting that long, but he was there.
That seems to pay off. I like the style. Let things cook for like 3 or 4 years and see what happens. I'm sure
Yeah.
nothing will change. I also loved the look of the Somnium offices. What was that based on anything, or like where did you find these pods? Where did you like? It was such a clean like sci-fi look, and I love that this film is like a sci-fi kind of film, but you didn't go too far out there. Like all the effects were practical and clean, and were easy for an indie film to do. So where's the inspiration for those offices?
Oh gosh. Well, I think I was so busy that I fully gave my designer the reins, Olivia McManus. She's so talented and just so visual and really just like took the lead. I was like, here are some colors, here are some inspiration photos. Obviously, I drew huge inspiration from Eternal Sunshine, so those were kind of some of the initial images I gave her, but she just like took it over and she's so great at that. And yeah, how cool that we actually got to be there and see it all in real life, even our creature. It's so fun.
That was a fun scene too. I was impressed by like it looked like it could be CG, but like no, that's moving too realistic. Like unless they use like 2024 AI, there's no way that that's CG.
Nope, we did like 98% of it in camera and then it had a little bit of visual effects to just spice it up here and there, but it's all real.
And the party scene now, what was that based on parties that you've been to, Chloe? Is that like is that based on any party that you've been to? Have you ever been to like a house party in the Hollywood Hills?
Oh yeah, of course.
All the time. I mean, you are America's sweetheart, so
Well, yeah. Um, yeah, it felt really realistic. I mean, it feels like it's based off of something very realistic. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I think you just hear about these parties happening in the hills with all these famous people at them and you're like, who is getting these invitations and from where? Um, I don't think I've been to a party like that per se. But yeah, again, I saw the whole Brooks arc as being like the future. And so that kind of maybe I just threw all of those images on top of a fancy Hollywood Hills party.
yeah, for sure. I mean, but you're gonna have one coming up, right? You're going to the premiere. The premiere of the film is happening, so I assume there's gonna be some fun party. I don't know if they have hills in Chattanooga, but they must. It's like Blue Mountains, right? Or Smoky Mountains are around there, probably.
Yeah. Smoky Mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I've heard is that people party hard at Chattanooga, so I'm excited and a little intimidated. There's like after parties, after parties. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be fun.
Where will you find the time to sleep? Or maybe you don't need to. Maybe you don't need to sleep after all this training you've been doing.
I hope so. I hope I
Um,
can.
and I was curious about the name Somnium. I tried to look it up. It seems like it was a novel from the 1600s, which didn't sound like it was related to this. So where did that come from? Was it like a play on insomnia, like the opposite of insomnia, or was that just something that you came up with for the movie?
So, yeah, another interesting fun fact is the movie was always called Alaska until just recently we made the switch. Somnium was always the name of the clinic. So when we had made the choice to change the title, we had a couple on the table. And that was the one that just made the most sense because it was already in the film. It's on shirts in the movie, it's on, the sets and everything. So it just felt like a natural jump to make. So I'd have to go back to when I decided to call the clinic Somnium, and it was just that the meaning, the root of it is just the dream and this dream clinic. So yeah, I think it makes sense.
That does make sense. I'm curious, why was it called Alaska?
Um,
Is that is
well,
that where you ran away to after you broke your boyfriend's heart? Is that where you ran from? Did you run from Alaska?
I have never been.
Huh.
I would love to go. It looks beautiful. It was just based on the ending that ultimately ended up changing. In the previous version, she like awoke into this vast snowy landscape. But it was also more so just tied to like one specific line in the movie where she, guess I can't say, something happens. It's important.
Spoilers.
Yeah. That was kind of the heart of the film, the theme of the story. So it was just like kind of pointing people to that line and like why that mattered.
And it probably also was very tough to film a snowy landscape in LA or wherever this. I assumed it was filmed in LA, but I'm not certain.
Yes, logistics was a factor for sure.
You have to wait for that one day every 5 years that snows in LA, and then you can get everyone together and film for the 25 minutes there's snow on the ground.
Does it snow in LA? Is that a thing?
It does, not very often, and it usually doesn't stick. I remember when I was growing up, we had like 3 snow days, and one of them I had still had to go to school, so I was very annoyed at that.
Oh,
So I know we have limited time. I'm going to switch to it's just a lightning round. They're just lightweight questions about the film. I want to see how your personal experiences map to things in the movie. You can feel free to skip any of them. I won't be offended, but I try to keep them very answerable.
Okay.
All right. First question. Do you remember what your last dream was?
I know that I woke up remembering it from last night. I think it had something to do with a theme park. I think I dream about theme parks a lot. Strange. I don't know. Yeah.
Chloe, it sounds like you don't remember what you do at night, so we'll just go.
No, but I dream about being on set a lot and like working
cool.
a lot. Yeah, so that was my dream last night.
Are those dreams or nightmares or depends on the day.
And sometimes they're really happy, sometimes they're filled with anxiety. Forgot all my lines, stuff like that.
Just good things to practice so that it doesn't actually happen in real life.
Exactly.
I think I know the answer for Racheal. So Chloe, have you ever had to choose your dreams over love?
Nope, haven't.
Charmed life. I assume Racheal, you have given how this movie starts, but maybe not. Maybe
Was it not clear that he was breaking up with me?
I mean, yes, but it's it was due to dreams.
Um, I think there were a lot of other factors at play. It wasn't the right fit.
Have either of you ever worked nights?
Yes. This
Like,
movie is all night.
okay, there we go. Valid. Okay.
I also was a bartender. That's how I survived during making this movie. So yes, very familiar with working nights.
It shows in the film. Did anyone show you around town like when you first like got into the business? Like like you said, like a Brooks character or like a light Brooks character.
Yeah, definitely. That hillside scene was inspired by someone from the bar that I met at the bar, taking me up on the hillside to just show me the view. It was really nice.
That does sound lovely.
Yeah.
Chloe, you or
Yeah, I feel like I've gotten some tours. Yeah, definitely.
what is the strangest job you've had?
Um,
Strange job.
I've done a lot of weird little jobs. Um, that's a good question.
Yeah.
All right. So many strange jobs we can't pinpoint one.
I was like a home organizer. That was a weird one. It's kind of
Oh,
fun.
I need help. I need a lot of help. Can you send me some resources?
Yeah, a lot of bar jobs, a lot of really weird bar jobs. Oh,
Have either of you ever been in a sensory deprivation chamber?
yes.
You have?
Oh yeah, they're great.
I feel like I don't know if I'd want to be stuck in there with my thoughts because I feel like that's all you
It's
can't even.
so cool, Chloe. You have to try it. You have
Yeah, I
never?
want to try it.
Oh, I almost, if we had more time, I think I told you this. I wanted to go do it together, like each get
Yeah.
over because it's the coolest thing. Like truly everything physical shuts off and just like I felt like my mind was so agile and I could go so far in my mind. And it really helped me writing the script, truly, because I was able to like go like zoom out so easily. It's really cool.
I'll have to try it.
Yeah.
That sounds like a really cool experience for someone who's creative. I think I would just be sitting there like wondering like how long has passed, like what's
It
going
wasn't
on.
that. I definitely have a little claustrophobia. So the first time I was like, where's the door? Because it's like you cannot see anything. So you have to like feel for that the out like little latch. It's
Oh my
creepy.
God. Whoa.
Well, dreams and nightmares. Kind of related question. Have you ever stayed in like a capsule hotel?
What's a capsule hotel?
In Japan, it's mostly in Japan. They have basically like the chambers that you had in Somnium. That's like your room. It's like a little closed place you can basically sleep, and you sleep the night there. And that's about all you get.
Whoa, no, I have not. Sounds crazy.
Yeah, well, it's cheap. So, this film is about Gemma trying to make it. How long did it take you to, quote unquote, make it?
Um, for me, from start to finish, we're on like 13 years. That's how long it took to make the movie. Yeah, crazy.
You kept going. I love it. I love it. I love the drive.
I think I got really lucky in that the stuff that we shot in Georgia, I loved so much that I was not willing to let it go. And I was like, this has got to be done. So yeah, all kudos to Chloe and Peter and Lance for DP. Yeah.
That is awesome. Now, if you could do a Cloud9, like a 9-hour reset, what would you and what would you want to like reshape yourself into?
No, I wouldn't. No. This is a cautionary tale. No.
It is. It's
I mean, I don't know. So some of the subjects seem to be doing all right. Seem to be doing fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
True. I don't know. That's such a good question. That's so fun. I would probably be a little bit better with money. I'm so bad with my finances. Like some work there, but
you did it. You got like you can't say you're bad with your finance when you made an indie film. Like that is like the ultimate dedication. Like especially they made an indie film over 5 years. Like that is a dedication to your finances and a dedication to the project. So
I guess so.
like I said, I don't know, maybe that's all like a fake background right there behind you. So the film is premiering at the Chattanooga Film Festival on June 22nd, 2024. You're both out promoting the movie, but after people finally see Somnium after all this time, do you have any other projects that you're working on? Anything they can look for next from you? And we'll start with you, Racheal. Do you have any other things on the horizon? Maybe the sequel? Maybe the sequel's building?
I think it's time to let this one go. We'll see. We'll see if the market's there. I've been so fully on board with this one, it's hard to even start thinking, but I have just started thinking about what I would do next, which is really fun. I think something with multiple universes, just smaller scales, but something with like time travel would be really cool.
And you could actually physically do that. You could just film one, like one time and then wait 10 years and film the next part. And that'd be kind of like time travel.
This is true.
Chloe, what about you? Do you have anything else on the horizon coming out?
I just shot a movie called Bird, which is gonna be really cool. And we'll see where that goes. And I also I write and direct, and so I'm working on my second short right now, but my first short is gonna be at a film festival that I cannot say yet, but information will be coming soon.
Oh, secret
Yes.
upcoming film festival
Secrets.
short. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, you can wait for the multiverse movie and the secret upcoming short sometime in the future. But for now, check out Somnium premiering at the Chattanooga Film Festival on June 22nd, 2024. It is just a really nice indie thriller that has a great cast, some really good effects, and a lot of heart, and a fun story to follow that's a little bit dreamlike. This is the writer-director Racheal Cain and star Chloë Levine. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. This was so fun.
That was Racheal Cain and Chloë Levine talking about Somnium, which is premiering at the Chattanooga Film Festival on June 22nd, 2024. It is an interesting indie sci-fi thriller that deals with following your dreams and the sacrifices you'll make to get them. It has a great cast, it has some really nice effects, and it has a pretty heartfelt story. So I really enjoyed it. I definitely think you should check it out. And if you like this interview, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.